So this past weekend was a massive weekend for video games with Marvel Rivals and Path of Exile 2 both releasing. Well, Path of Exile 2 specifically releasing in early access, just to be more specific with that. And to be honest, as someone who has been a massive fan of both of these games, while mainly like when it comes to Marvel Rivals, I played it during the closed beta. And even before then, I've been a massive fan of hero shooters, going back to Overwatch like 1 days. We don't really talk about Overwatch 2. And then when it comes to Path of Exile 2, I was a massive fan of Path of Exile. I got into it because of Diablo 4. And then ever since last year, I've racked up like over 500 hours of Path of Exile. So it has been a great weekend for someone like me. And in this video, I specifically want to talk about Marvel Rivals, because this game really has kind of like come out of nowhere to be such a massive hit. And yes, it did spark like a lot of talk during its beta, but even then, it's kind of proved that there is still space for a game like this in the genre of hero shooters. And to me, I want to put a massive contrast to this game of when it comes to Concord. Because I remember when Concord came out, there were so many people making excuses for the game of the reasons why it failed. Saying that because it wasn't free to play. And the main reason why that apparently Concord failed to a lot of people who were like, trying to be Concord defendants was that, it's just that, the hero shooter genre has just really been taken over by Overwatch and there's really no other space for it. It's not a big market, which to me, Marvel Rivals, since the release of it, like right now, it is currently sitting, at least at the moment of me recording this video, it is sitting third on the Steam charts with 446,000 concurrent players. And this is about 10 past 10 in the morning here in Australia. So obviously like its peak was 480,000. But the fact that it's sitting third on the Steam charts, even a few days after the game has come out, is amazing. And I want to say right now, as someone who's played it when it first got released the other day, I mean, I haven't played it as much since then because I've been hammering Path of Exile 2. But even then, I will be playing this game for the foreseeable future. And like I said, this game right here just goes to show that there is still space in the hero genre. And like I said, when it comes to people defending Concord, a lot of these people were saying that yes, Concord only failed because there's no room for it. While Marvel Rivals just goes ahead and proves that otherwise. And to me, there's many reasons of why Marvel Rivals is such a success compared to Concord. Like to me, at least from my point of view, it's extremely obvious. And one of the things that I want to take a look at is just face value. And one of the biggest things that when it came against Concord was its character designs. Because its character designs, absolutely horrendous. They just looked terrible. You could definitely tell that the way that they were going about these designs, it almost like they were trying to like push some kind of agenda. I mean, that was the whole entire game. The whole entire game when it came to their character designs, adding pronouns into the game, at least from like someone's like my point of view, and a lot of gamers' point of view, when it came to the designs of these characters, it looked like they were trying to push something. You had these terrible looking characters. You had this one character who was fat and overweight and just looked horrible. There's one person who had a bucket on her head. Like, they were absolutely ridiculous. And then you go ahead and you look at the roster of Marvel Rivals and you look at each character design and you see just how well every single one of these characters are made. And not just that, but also the art style of this game to me is amazing. Like, one thing that a lot of games these days get wrong, and a lot of things that I hate when it comes to these modern day games, is that they just try to push this hyper realistic like graphic design. And to me, like, graphics have kind of reached that point where like I really think that trying to go for something that looks photorealistic just kind of ends up looking kind of shit. And if you go for some unique art style, to me, the game's going to have a better longevity than if you try to go for that hyper-realistic, photorealistic graphic design. So I think that with the graphics and with the art style that Marvel Rivals has gone with, that it proves that it's going to have some longevity. And not just that, and obviously when it comes to the character design, I have seen some people make some absolutely ridiculous statements online. I saw this making its way around Twitter. It's from a Reddit. Of course, the Reddit page is called r/socialist gaming. And it's a Reddit post of someone saying, not a fan of these character designs, TBH, especially characters like Luna Snow, who are very male-gazy and serious lack of diversity, but the game looks like it could be fun. Thoughts? Did this person even have a look at every single one of the character designs. I mean, Luna Snow herself, if we take a look at her, this right here is a beautiful character. I mean, can we even lie? She's an amazing looking character. The character design itself, take out this whole supposed male gaze thing, and just looking at the details in her costume, the way that the face is designed, the way that everything from top to bottom is amazing. And yes, she's hot. She is a sexy looking character. But you know who else is sexy? And you know who also fits to the female gaze? And I know this for a fact because I have seen female simp over this character in the Venom movies. And that's Venom himself. Look at this man. Look how sexy. Look at this big, well-built abs. Man's got fucking traps coming out of nowhere. His lats are huge. Arm muscles are massive. I see many girls simp over Tom Hardy's Venom. So you can't tell me that this ain't some female gazy stuff. And like I said, when it comes to this whole lack of diversity, did they even really look at the whole roster of Marvel Rivals? I don't think that they did. You have so much diversity in this roster. What, because it's not pushing some kind of stupid diversity agenda? I mean, let's have a look at some of the characters off the roster. Black Panther is a black character. You have Storm, who's a black character. Namor, who is a black character. You have so many different female characters in this. You have Groot, that's a fucking tree. You have Penny Parker, who's an Asian female character. Cloak and Dagger is literally a female and a black guy. You have a shark, a squirrel girl, you have a fucking raccoon. The diversity in this game is huge. Like, I don't know what the hell they're talking about when it comes to lack of diversity. This game has more diversity than Concord does. But you know what they've done? They've done it in a great way. And that's why the game is succeeding. They've done it because they're focused more on gameplay than they have when it's come to the characters themselves. Yes, the character design is great. I love the character designs in this game. But the one thing that makes this game fun is the gameplay itself. I mean, the gameplay of Concord, down to its core, is the main reason why it failed. Yes, you can say that the character designs and the pronouns and the agendas pushed are some of the reasons why it failed. But to me, those are just such a small thing of when it comes to this, like, actual, of the reasons why it actually failed. But when it does come to that stuff, to me, it's just like, well, if this is in the game, you know that other stuff isn't going to be so great. It's almost like a pattern recognition thing, that whenever you see something like bad character design and enforced diversity in a game where it's just like they're trying to push it to the point where it feels unnatural, there's going to be other things wrong with the game. Where if it's something like Marvel Rivals, when things come naturally, well, the gameplay itself is going to be great. And the gameplay of Marvel Rivals is great. I played the hell out of it on Friday when it came out. And like I said, I'm going to play more of it in the foreseeable future. And playing it with friends as well is so much fun. I mean, the chaos that's going, there's so much stuff going on in the game. But at the same time, you still know what's going on. It's not like over clutter. It's like that perfect balance of like there's a lot going on during the game, but at the same time, it's not like there's too much to the point where you don't really know what's going on. Where if you look at Concord's gameplay, it's just very linear and very boring, and it's meant to be a hero shooter, but at the same time, like whenever I've watched gameplay of this, because I did not play the game, and thank God that it got and even if it like got put into free to play, I probably wouldn't have played it anyways. I didn't want it to grace the hard drives of my PC. But it's meant to be a hero shooter, but a lot of the times it just feels like some kind of boring arena shooter where it almost feels like you're playing solo, where when you're playing Marvel Rivals, it feels like you're actually playing as a team, because it's got that proper tank, that proper like attack, and then the proper support characters. It really feels like Overwatch 1. That's why this game is so great, and I love the hell out of Marvel Rivals, and I definitely wanted to talk about it and make a video about it. And I wanted to compare it to Concord because, like I said, when it comes to like hero shooters, the genre itself, there's not really many games out there anymore that has kind of like taken that genre by the balls And a lot of people said that Concord failed because there wasn't any space in the genre of hero shooters. But Marvel Rivals has just gone ahead and proven otherwise, that if you make great character designs and focus on core gameplay, you will succeed in a genre, no matter how saturated it may be. But I would definitely like to hear what you guys think about all this down below. If you haven't played Marvel Rivals, I definitely recommend you go do so. If you have, let me know what you think about it down below. That's going to be from me. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Peace out.